Today we're going to divide polynomials using synthetic division. So synthetic division um, is a lot different than long division. You still come out with the same answers, but you're going to set it up differently. All right. One thing to remember about synthetic division, you can only use whenever you have x minus a number. I'll say x minus a or x plus a. It can't be or dividing by x minus a. Can't be an x squared. If you've got like a 3x in there, you can't do that. You only can be x minus or plus a. So right here, what you're going to do is you're going to take the 0 of this, okay? So if x minus 2 is what you're dividing by, you're going to put a positive 2 right here, okay? Because 2 is the number that when you plug that in, that would make this 0. And then over here, you're going to put your coefficients in descending order by the exponent, okay? So I have an x cubed. So the coefficient right there is going to be a 1. Then I have negative 3x squared, so I'll have a negative 3. Then a negative 7x, so I'll have a negative 7, and then a positive 6. And that's how I'm going to set it up right there. And what you're going to do, there's really two steps right here after your first one. You're going to drop this first number down 1, and then you multiply up. So 2 times 1 is 2, and then add down. Negative 3 plus 2 is a negative 1. Multiply up. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Add down, that's negative 9. Multiply up, 2 times negative 9 is negative 18. And add down, and this is negative 12. Your last number right here is your remainder. And then these go up in order of exponents. So this will be your constant, this will be your x, this will be your x squared. So your answer right here is 1x squared, or x squared, minus x minus 9 minus 12 over what you divided by, x minus 2. So it's a lot shorter than polynomial long division, but you can only use it whenever you have x minus a number or x plus a number. So right here we have x plus 3. So inside we're going to put a negative 3. And then I'm going to put, I have a 2x cubed, so I'll put a 2. I don't have an x squared, so I'm still going to have to use placeholders right here. So since I don't have an x squared term, I'm going to put a 0. Then I have minus x, so that's a negative 1. And then minus 7, so that's a negative 7. Again, I drop my first number, 2, and then I multiply up. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Add down, 0 plus negative 6 is negative 6. Multiply up, negative 3 times negative 6 is 18. Add down, that's 17. Negative 3 times 17 is a negative 51. Add down, that's negative 58. So this is my remainder. This will be my constant, my x, and my x squared term. So I have 2x squared minus 6x plus 17 minus 58 over x plus 3. Alright, then our next little part of this is the remainder theorem. And the remainder theorem just says that if a polynomial f of x is divided by x minus k, then the remainder is f of k. So what that means is that if I had plugged this number in, this negative 3 in, to 2x cubed minus x minus 7, the number I would get out would be negative 58. If I had substituted 2 into this function, then I would have gotten out negative 12 as my answer. My answer is the same as the remainder whenever you divide. So it says use synthetic division to evaluate the polynomial for the indicated value of x. So x equals 5. So 5 is what I'm putting right here. Then I'm setting this up. So 4, negative 10, negative 21. Drop my 4. Multiply up. 5 times 4 is 20. Add down. That's 10. 5 times 10 is 50. Add down. That is 29. So f of 5, if I have substituted 5 into this, everywhere I saw an x and solved it, it would be, my answer would be 29. So whenever it's asked you to evaluate using synthetic division, you're plugging this number straight in, and then your answer is only the remainder. Same thing right here. So I have a 2, then I've got 5, a 2. I don't have an x squared, so I still have to use that placeholder of 0, negative 20, negative 6. Drop your 5. 2 times 5 is 10, add down 12, multiply up 24, add down 24, multiply up 48, add down 28, multiply up 56, add down 50. So f of 2, when I substitute 2 in for all of the x's, my answer would be 50. Now I want you to take a minute and to summarize your notes. Okay, so I want you to look back at your notes and write down, what did you learn in these notes? What are the important things to remember about two different ways of dividing? So we had two different ways of dividing. We had polynomial long division and synthetic division. We can also use synthetic divisions to evaluate functions for given values of x's. Polynomial long division is the longer method, but it always works. Synthetic division only works whenever you have something in the form of x minus a or x plus a. You can also answer this question, what was the muddiest point about this lesson? What was difficult to understand? If you need something else to write right here. We're writing our summaries and making our notes instead of doing our learning log. So I really want you to take the time and write a good summary.